Good morning and welcome to episode 5 of the Wilmac Wire. Today you have me, Emily Miller. I'm the Director of Marketing at Wilmac Technologies, and we have our first non-Wilmac guest with us today, Mr. Matt Hurlbutt. Yeah, so Matt, thank you for joining us. Matt is from the Greater Rochester enterprise, who's actually just a few floors up from Wilmac Technologies in the 5-star bank building in downtown Rochester. So Matt, thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to start just by asking you who you are and what do you do?
Sure. Well, that could take the whole time. But, Matt Hurlbutt, President and CEO of Greater Rochester Enterprise. And GRE, as we're known, is here to support business growth throughout the 9-county region that surrounds Rochester. And that means providing information, connectivity to businesses outside of the area that are investing here, as well as those that are here growing. And that's something not everybody understands. So we market the region for business investment. Our first big win was Barilla in 2007. And then certainly the most recent big win on the business attraction side was the Coca-Cola Fairlife investment that's been celebrated with a groundbreaking recently, but also supporting smaller companies like Wilmac. So helping companies connect to resources. We've got a team of about 12 people that work every day really tirelessly to help companies connect, grow. That's everything from real estate to talent to research and development assets, supply chain connectivity, and an economic gardening program that helps companies identify new markets, get strategic information to increase revenue and grow revenue outside of the region. So it's a lot, but it's really fun, and we like meeting companies and certainly are glad to have you in our building.
Yeah, well, thank you. You gave us such a warm welcome, and I'll touch more on that in some later questions. But so you've been at Greater Rochester Enterprise for a while now. Can you tell me more about how you came to be here and kind of your evolution?
Yeah, sure. So I joined GRE in 2008, and that was after I had led Rochester Works for, I believe, about 8 years from its inception to 2008, working on a regional effort to increase innovation and workforce development assets across the region. So that kind of led me to GRE at the time. Dennis Mullen was the president here and was one of our partners in that regional initiative. That was a large federal grant called the Wired Initiative back in the day, and Rochester Works, was the lead organization for that. And so it really was opportunistic in the sense of there was a vacancy. I was ready to make a change, and I came here and led project development as a business development managing director, and then kind of moved up the ranks as leadership changed here.
Yeah, so you get to meet a lot of different people and attend a lot of exciting events in the region. Can you tell me more about what your favorite thing about your job is and why?
Yeah, well, that's actually easy. So I really love to connect people. And we talk a lot about projects. Everything we do is a project. And I put that in air quotes because we're under a lot of non-disclosure. So we're often involved with critical company decisions. It's a very analytical process. It's not really... So I think the biggest misnomer in economic development is it's very analytical, it's not driven by incentives, and it's not sales. So it's really listening and connecting the dots. And that's connecting people is really one of my favorite things, even going back to my days at Rochester Works, but certainly being at GRE, connecting people to each other. And it doesn't have to be a project per se, or a company growing, or a massive expansion. Sometimes it's just connecting two business leaders to each other, or when people are impacted by a change in career opportunities, connecting them to other companies they might not be aware of. That's kind of the fun part. And the nice part about Rochester is the fact that we are a large metro, but it's very easy to connect here. And that's kind of the fun part, is learning more about companies like Wilmac and others, and what they're doing here, why, and then what those opportunities may be, and trying to help them in some way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I remember when I started at Wilmac out of college and kind of was trying to get my feet wet in the region and figuring out what resources we had available to us. I remember the Chamber of Commerce and GRE were the top two that we wanted to make sure we established that partnership with. And now it makes it even easier that we're neighbors. But getting to see what you guys are doing regularly, you're very active on social media and in your marketing. So it's always really reassuring to see those resources going back into the region. Okay, and I guess the next question I have for you is, how are you growing business and innovation in the Greater Rochester region?
Well, a lot of it is what you just talked about, a lot of storytelling. So the interesting thing about Greater Rochester Enterprise is we promote the region. We we promote businesses that are here, why they're investing, and when it comes to site selectors, they're often watching regional information, but more importantly, they're watching what companies are doing, where they're doing it, and why. So we've seen a lot of acceleration in innovation and new technologies, especially during COVID, when certainly supply chains were impacted, and the world was fighting through a global pandemic. But you saw a lot of small businesses move and pivot to new technologies, and some of our smaller companies that are not household names have really become the go-to leaders in their industry sector. And the interesting thing too is that we've got a very diverse economy. So when you talk about outstanding growing assets here in the region, that goes from milk production to farming, vegetable farming to fruit production, and then certainly on the innovation side of food processing, packaging science, and some of our chemistry expertise, which lends itself to optics, photonics, imaging, as well as material science that's supporting energy innovation, semiconductor supply chain, software, cybersecurity, and all of those assets help diversify the economy, and then I think it's leveraging those to help companies grow.
Right.
So the innovation is really leading edge, and we know some things about where markets are going that we can't always disclose, but we've got some companies doing some really amazing things here.
Right. Yeah, and I know, just taking a look at your website, you just provide a wide variety of resources to the Greater Rochester region, which is incredible. So again, rochesterbiz.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what did you think of Wilmac's open house?
That was great.
Yeah.
Not a lot of companies do that, so it was certainly a great party, and again, it was a great event to meet everybody, and not only that, but welcome us to your space, and welcome other partners in the building to see each other. And again, reflecting on just office space in general post-COVID, it was nice to see people very active, as well as watching some sports to see and enjoy the day. So we appreciate it. We love to have you here in the building, and it's nice to see some activity.
Definitely, yeah. We were so excited that you and Stacy and Katie and a couple others were able to join us. We had to do it around the Masters. We were going to do it around March Madness, but we have those massive TVs. We had to have something
that was great
on there.
That was great.
Yeah, and I chatted a little bit more about the open house with Thomas Clark in our previous episode, but again, really appreciated you guys coming. Okay, so moving into my next question, what does it mean to you to have a technology company like Wilmac focus its growth in the Greater Rochester region?
Well, again, it goes back to that storytelling. So our tagline is Greater Rochester is a place where smart people live and smart businesses grow. So Wilmac is an example of that, especially investing in downtown Rochester, in hiring from colleges in the region, and growing here and leading next generation technologies. So that's the story we tell every day. So, and we want more of those stories to get out. So the fact that you're doing a good job promoting that helps us tell the story of Rochester, and that's something that we look forward to doing every day. So again, it's we're thrilled to have you here, and also very interested in watching you continue to grow.
Thank you. Yeah, when our president Steve McDonald acquired the company in November 2022, we were over on State Street, so only a couple minutes away. We had been there for over 25 years. And we were kind of like, all right, I think it's time for change. We're starting to grow. We don't have enough space. It's not encouraging the collaboration and innovation that we're establishing as our core values. So that kind of started the search. Steve and then our controller, Joe, did a lot of the searching in the local area. We were looking at Linden Oaks, a couple other places. And then they came to the 5-Star Bank building, and they're like, I think this is it. This is a really cool place to be, downtown Rochester. It's up. It's coming back. I mean, it's really exciting. You have so many places to walk to around here, especially coming into the summer months. I know when I was in college, I didn't come down to the city all that often.
Oh yeah.
So now working down here every day, it's really exciting to see all the different things going on and being able to enjoy that as a company and kind of improve that camaraderie. that's so important in the company's growth. So.
Yeah, and the concert season will be starting soon.
Yeah.
You're going to have a party in the park. There's a lot to do around here. So
yeah, I heard we should be able to basically make our decision on the music in the building and then decide if we want to go out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay, last few questions for you.
Sure.
So how do you see Wilmac having an impact in the Rochester region?
Well, again, I think hiring local people, leveraging the not just our college students, our alumni, but also serving business in the community, and we all grow together. So that connectivity, that B2B support, the connectivity in the region, the fact that you're here and growing is significant, and allowing us to kind of partner with you to tell the good story about the work you're doing here really helps everybody.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a growing company. Leveraging the talent here and telling that story really helps everybody.
Completely agree. And thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you'd like to share about things going on at GRE?
Yeah, well, it's funny. We've had Toyota Material Handling announce a major investment here in battery technology, as well as leveraging some of our fuel cell expertise. I can just say that we've got some good news on the way. Some things will be popping very soon. That's kind of the hard part about our job, is many of them are code named, and we can't really say, but you're going to see some good news coming again in the near future, and there are a lot of good companies hiring in addition to yourselves, but we've got some outstanding job opportunities. So for anybody listening out there, I encourage them to look at the companies that are growing in this region. They certainly find them on our website, and a lot of good career opportunities and advancing technologies throughout the region.
Definitely, and I'll make sure to share all of Greater Rochester Enterprises resources, your socials, in the comments and in the caption. So again, Matt, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate it. Great to be neighbors and to continue to grow in this relationship. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you to everyone who has listened to the Wilmac Wire. This will be coming out shortly. So thank you and have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Wilmac Wire. Don't want to miss the next one? Be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And while you're at it, head over to LinkedIn and follow the Wilmac Technologies page to stay up to date on everything happening here at Wilmac Technologies. And again, thank you for tuning in.